Show you a couple things on the bench before we get the winch loaded up. That way everything is a little bit easier to see. First thing is going to be the solenoid pack up top here. When you guys go to install this, this has got 2 bolts retaining on the back side if you're going to mount it on top, and then all your wires are going to feed off of the back. I had a pre-production winch, so I had no instructions that came with it. So one thing I found is wiring for these. If you look underneath the bolt, you can kind of see a yellow washer, a red washer, and a black washer. So when you guys install these, yellow is going to be on the bottom, red in the middle, black, which is D, up top. And then this center post here is going to be used for your ground. So you do have A, which is coming off of your solenoid pack, and then you've got your big ground, which will be fed straight to the battery. That one I've already got on the Jeep, so I'll show you a connection of that once we get the bumper in. You've also got a small plug-in here. This plug-in goes from your solenoid pack down to the front light bar on the front of this winch, and I believe on the rear as well. You have an LED strip underneath that's going to light up that spool. Kind of a nifty feature. Then we've got our plug-ins. This is going to be for the winch control. And then a neat feature on this winch that I've never seen before, this is actually a 12-volt power point. So if you are going to use a air compressor or anything like that, you can actually clamp it right onto the winch itself rather than having to pop your hood. Other than that, features on the winch, these 2 top plates are removable. You can paint those to match your Jeep or any accent colors you have. And then of course your free spool and engaged lever off to the side. This particular one is the 12,000 pound model. I believe they also do the 9,000 pound as well. And when it comes time to install on your Jeep, you've got square nuts. Those nuts are going to slide in to the mount of the winch. Then you've got a washer and a lock washer. That's what's going to be used to secure it with your winch plate or your bumper in between. We'll head over to the Jeep and get it installed. So now that we've got the winch in place, wiring wise, we're going to get this done before we go ahead and install it. I'm going to feed our accessory wire down behind my bumper, as well as our power wire. And if you recall, I've got my ground wire that I've still got to connect on the back side here. And now I'm just going to slide underneath and go ahead and get it bolted up. Next thing we're going to do is install our Fairlead. And you'll see I've got a light bar bracket on mine as well, which is this piece here. And then we'll get it wired up now and start spooling in the winch to connect the wiring. You're just going to have your positive going back to your battery, negative back to your battery, and if you would like the accent light to come on, what I'm going to do is wire that to one of the auxiliary switches in the Jeep. Then you're all set to start using it. Alright guys, I'm just going to show you, we got the light bar just bolted onto that Fairlead mount. I'm going to show you some of the wiring up top here, top side. That way you can get an idea. We'll be doing the same thing underneath, just a little bit harder to get on video. So this light bar comes with 2 wires coming out the factory harness, one red, one black. All I'm going to do is they're already stripped, so I'm just going to cut them down just a tad, pull off the rest of that, give each one a little twist. And then what I've done is I've just got a piece of red, black, wire that I have, and some heat shrink connectors, butt splices that I've put on. And I'm just going to take a little butane torch and heat these up. You'll see them start shrinking down. Be careful, just keep the torch moving so you're not going to melt through any of the wire, burn the wire. Last part to install your winch is going to be attaching the winch rope itself. Inside the spool there's a little threaded hole, and you've got an Allen bolt with your rope. So you're going to go ahead and use that. Then you're going to attach your controller. As soon as you attach that controller, I'll show you here, you can kind of see the spool lights up. So right now I have it unplugged, and then as soon as I plug it in, that spool lights up, which will be pretty nice at night. You've got a load indicator, and then you can go out or you can go in. In this case, we're going to go in, and we're just going to go nice and slow at first. The point of this is to get some tension on the rope. What I'm going to do is get maybe the first couple wraps, and then we're actually going to spool the rest of it, sitting or attaching the Jeep to another vehicle to add some tension on it. Alright, that concludes spooling the winch. Now we'll go over some features. Alright guys, we're going to go over some features of the winch. Obviously you've got your engaged free spool. If you're not familiar what this does, engage locks the motor. When you turn that to free spool, that lets the spool pull out, where now you can pull your rope without engaging that motor. On your remote itself, you've got a load indicator. It's going to light up blue whenever you've got the controller plugged in. As you continue to use the winch, it'll light up from, I believe it is green, yellow, and then red. When you're at red, that's max load. In this case, it's a 12,000 pound winch. So if you're seeing red lights on there, that means that you're working that winch pretty hard. You might want to stop before you break something or burn the winch up. On the side here, you've got buttons to control as far as in and out. You might not be able to see. I'm going to see if I can pull this off. Maybe that'll get it there. So you've got in and out. When you push these buttons over on the side, that'll control them. So right now you've got it on out. That is in. Hit it again, and that turns it off. You've also got a built-in flashlight. So on the inside of your remote, hit that, and that turns on your flashlight. And on the back side of the winch or on the back side of the controller are magnets. So you can magnetize or stick that up on your bumper if you've got a metal roll cage, something like that. Put it on your roll cage in your Jeep while you're winching. You've got the backlight, which we showed you with the lighting video. Other than that, that pretty much concludes the overview and installation of the winch. We've used it a couple times during the original Smittybilt photo shoot. It worked pretty well. It pulled this Jeep up a fairly vertical hill with next to no throttle. So fairly impressed with it. If you guys have any questions, comment below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, that we can stay tuned to all the new content we'll be adding. Thanks for watching.